She is a Golden Globe-winning Hollywood star. You'll know her from her brilliant performances in Almost Famous and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Now she's starring alongside Daniel Craig in the new Knives Out movie. It's Kate Hudson. Come and sit down here.
Hi.
It's great to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's nice to be here.
Well, I've never had Kate on my show before, and I've always wanted to, but of course I've had your mum on several times.
Yes.
The fabulous Goldie Hawn, as many of you will know.
Did she behave?
Well, when she was on, last time she was on, she was telling me in quite some detail about when she was at, when you were giving birth to your son Bingham.
All right.
And she told me everything, frankly.
Yeah, so she didn't behave.
No. But I spoke to Stormzy about getting selfies, and Machine as well. And I know you grew up, obviously, with your mother's famous, your stepfather's famous, and so it would have been, you know, I guess you had quite a lot of famous people floating through the house. Do you still get starstruck ever? Do you still...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember meeting Bob Dylan, and I was, like, out of my mind. I mean, I actually got a chance to go on tour with him when I was a lot younger. My ex-husband went on tour with him for a bit, and so I kind of got to know him. And he's a great swimmer.
He's a great swimmer?
Yeah.
Hold it. When you say he's a great swimmer, so that means, like, he's better than a normal swimmer?
It means that once upon a time, I was in Pensacola, Florida, which is a place in, you know, in Florida. And it's as random as it gets, right? And I was sitting on a beach, and I saw this man swimming way out in the ocean with another man who looked like a bodyguard kind of standing there. And I didn't really understand what was going on, but I thought, wow, that guy's really out there. He's swimming like crazy. And it's in the ocean. And then he came out, and then he put this towel over him, and he had this curly black hair, and he started getting closer and closer, and I was like, oh my God, it's Bob Dylan. And he came up, and he started looking at me, and then I'm like, wait, how is this happening right now in the middle of a beach in Pensacola, Florida? And he goes, Katie? And I was like, Bob? I didn't know you were such a swimmer. So yeah, he's a great swimmer.
It was the depth of his swimming. It was the
it
length
was like
from the
he
shore.
was out in the I mean, it felt like a mile away.
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that either.
Sharks.
Oh, too many sharks. Yeah. Too many sharks.
You know,
too scary.
when I go swimming in Florida, I sometimes strap a small knife to my ankle.
Do you really?
Yes.
You do. I bet you do.
I do.
I probably would do the same thing if I got in the ocean in Florida.
I have like a kind of swimming sock with a knife attached.
I want to see what this swimming sock looks like. Did you think about it when you put the sock on? Like, oh, that's a good swimming sock.
It's like a sock that it's like a small part, as if someone's cut the foot off of a wetsuit.
It's like a compression sock.
But I've only got one. No, it's not like a compression sock. It's like an action man sock for a man who's going to kill a shark if it comes too close.
And I bet you would. I bet you would. It would go down.
I would. Are you a good swimmer, was she?
Not as good as I thought I was. I always thought I was a really great swimmer. And then I was good in salty water. Like in Greece, it does a lot of the legwork for you.
It's a buoyancy.
And then I got into the Hampstead Ponds, and that was spicy stuff.
Stormzy, you got some skills in the pool?
I can. Is breaststroke? Is that breaststroke?
Yeah.
I can do that. But then also, I have this theory in my head, yeah, that if someone threw me off a boat, because I have so much resilience, I would survive. And I can't swim but I just feel like if I'm in that situation, I'm not fucking dying.
No. That's Bob Dylan level of resilience.
There you go.
OK, so Kate's in a brand new film, ladies and gentlemen. It's out in cinemas right now, and it also will be available on Netflix. I think from, when is that? The 23rd of December. But go and see it on the big screen if you can. It's called Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery. And the character you play, she's very funny.
She's crazy.
Yeah, not always intentionally funny. She's just...
No, she's very... she finds herself in hot water a lot.
Yeah.
She doesn't really know how to censor herself. And she's very flamboyant and fabulous.
So she's called Birdie J. But, you know, I was going to ask you about one of the things she says or doesn't know. What I can't really, because it's one of those films where you really don't want to spoil it for people.
Yeah, I mean, it would really ruin the experience. But what's so great about this movie, Ryan Johnson, the writer-director, is so brilliant that, you know, when you go back and when you go back and see it a second time or even a third time, you just see so much that's new. And at the center of it is Daniel, who's the
Well,
best.
it's so nice seeing Daniel Craig like having fun because, of course, he was an amazing Bond. But I always get the feeling that he was under pressure, like playing Bond. It was kind of a big role to take on. But the movies, of course, are somber. They're serious. They're not really like. But to see him, he's very funny in this film.
He's so funny. He's quite goofy, and yeah, as someone who I didn't know Daniel at all, and I only know him through really his Bond films, and so it was like.
Yeah, but in this, he's quite slapstick at times.
He's so great.
Well, you know who might be the new Bond?
I don't.
Right there.
No.
Oh, I see.
I'll be so shit. I'll be so shit. I wish I could, but I'll be so
I'm
shit.
sorry. I know. I wasn't meant to announce it yet. I'm sorry.
Even the I'm Bond. What's it? I'm Bond. It's not the one. I wish I
I think
could.
that is the way
love
forward.
it.
Yo, I'm Bond.
Yo,
Is the
I'm
way
Bond.
forward.
Yo, I'm Bond. What's going on?
Okay, anyway, we're not talking about you in Bond, but that's going to be next year's announcement. We're talking about Knives Out. So much fun. And see it at the big screen if you can, but certainly catch it. Here's a little thing to whet your appetite. Now, Daniel does... Now, that accent he's doing, is that kind of a Louisiana accent?
Yeah, it's kind of like a bayou, I
Yeah,
guess. That sort of like drawl.
And it works. He does it very well.
He does it great.
Yeah.
He works really hard at it, and then he comes to set and he can go in and out of it. So he doesn't have to do it the whole time.
You've lived here at times over the years, haven't you? You spent quite a long
Yeah.
time in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
How is your British accent?
Oh God. You want me to do it?
Obviously.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. It's been quite hard to be away from the kids. Because, the travelling back and forth and it's the holidays and everything. So that's hard. Is that
I'll be honest with you, that was too good. I was hoping we could laugh at you. But that was too good.
Well, I would have been... I'm happy to be laughed
That was
at,
very
too.
good. Well, Sheen, you've acted quite a bit. How are your accents?
All right.
OK. Let's give you an easy one. Your mum's Irish.
Yes.
You can do Irish, presumably.
I can do Irish. I can do my mum. Get out of that bed.
Hold it. How come your Irish accent is much worse than Kate's English accent?
I can do my Irish. Hold on, wait. My mum can. Hello, darling. She sounds like that. I can't do an Irish accent. This is terrible.
Stormzy, any accents?
No.
Come on.
I ain't got nothing. If I could, I would. I ain't got nothing.
OK.
Nah.
OK, Stormzy, what about if you're in America and you must slip into it a bit?
I don't. Nah.
Oh, come on, try it.
What should I say? Hey, I don't know. What's
How about...
what's happening?
A large pepperoni, please.
Hey, man, can I... He's taking the piss.
That's good.
Hey, man, can I... Hey, man, that's all I know.
That's all you need. That's all you need. This is amazing. So when I was reading up on Kate before the show, and I realised, because time passes so quickly, but it's been 20 years, almost 20 years, since How to Lose a Guy in 10 days.
20 years.
That'll be next year. And that was such a lovely film and such a it's a very well-loved film. And I'm often curious as to what those characters would do now. When I see a movie that I love from the past, A Time Has Passed, would you go back to that role?
Where is Andy Anderson? I don't know. I get asked this all the time. So does Matthew, And we both have the same feeling about it. Like, if for some reason a great idea came across our desk and it read well, and I would totally revisit it. I love working with Matthew.
And presumably you got on off-screen as well, did you?
Yeah, we sure did. And then we did another movie called Fool's Gold together.
Yeah. I remember that film. That film, it starts with your characters popping out the sea and then kissing. And are they... Because often I talk to actors and they say, well, the kissing scenes, romantic scenes, they're not that much fun to shoot.
That was definitely not that fun to shoot. Ocean and swimming and kissing is not always pleasant.
When I see sex scenes, I'm like, fucking, how do you not do that? It's a bit like, you know what I mean? Like, no, come on, everyone's thought it. Everyone's thought it. You watch a sex scene and you're like, rah, like, how are you not doing that? Like, care to explain, Kate?
I'm sitting here thinking about it.
Yeah, like, as in, what's the like, as in, of course, it's your job, innit? But, like, from just your average punter, and I speak on behalf of everyone, it looks extremely difficult. It's like, is there, not to sound crude, but can there be arousal? You know what I mean? Just like, everyone thought it, but do you get what I mean?
Interesting question.
No, as in, I feel like I'm digging it, but you know what I mean, though.
Well, I think that it's so mechanical,
Okay.
and there's so many people around, in the sense of I mean, usually they close the set, and you kind of have to talk it out, and the boys wear belts.
Okay.
You know, it's
Just
very
keep stuff down.
Yeah,
keep
it's
it in.
very tucked.
So all
And
of that
so
takes the...
it kind of takes the the fun out of it, I guess. but I mean, sometimes it's more enjoyable than other times.
Okay,
you know,
I can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the circumstance and the safety that you feel with that actor, and how you know how safe the space feels. You know, because it can get awkward. You know,
Yeah, of course.
it can get awkward, and then sometimes you're like, oh, we have our scene today.
Fun day at the office.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.